Speaking. We do have everyone here but Chantel, so we do have a quorum. If we could all stand up and pledge the flag, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. All right, to approve the minutes of last meeting from January 10th. The minutes have been distributed to you. Are there any corrections we need to make?
No, we already sent I sent my corrections in.
I saw that. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes as written and corrected from the January 10th, 2023 Recreation Commission meeting.
Do we have a second?
I second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Rand and seconded by Commissioner Saha that we approve the minutes as written from the January 10th, 2023 Recreation Commission meeting. I will now call for a vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Ooh.
All those opposed, the motion passes 8-0. Well, we were going to have Ambush come in tonight, but they wanted to defer until, is it March? Excuse me, May? Okay.
And we do have a full schedule of all of our associations now. It's all been confirmed with the association, so apologize for any misunderstandings, but we're going to get everybody in here within the next 3 or 4 months.
Okay, that's great. I don't believe we have any old business to discuss. New business either. We don't have that either. So we're going to go right into the staff presentations and start with community services.
There she is. Hi, Amanda.
How are you?
How are you?
Good.
Great. Hello, everybody. So this month for community services, our monthly highlights are that we are planning for Wire and Wood.
Wait. We got to wait for technology to catch up with us. But we're not getting it on our screen. Can we change that? Like my screen just says the city of Alpharetta, Georgia.
There we go.
Good. Does everyone have it?
Yep. Thank you. That's nice. Okay. Proceed. We're planning for Wire and Wood, and I can't tell you who the headliners are going to be for Friday and Saturday night, but I can tell you that we have them locked in, and this is the earliest we've ever had them locked in. So we're really excited about that. We were able to get artists that we are really happy about, and we'll be able to be promoting that earlier than ever before.
Do you have the dates, Amanda?
It is always the second weekend in October, so I believe this year it's the 13th and 14th. Taste of Alpharetta is only 3 months away, hard to believe. So plans are underway for that as well, and I did take the questions that you all had regarding the e-ticketing, and so I feel really good about the change that we're looking to implement with Taste this year regarding digital ticketing, so that's great.
I see here that it says incentives for restaurants.
Yes.
Do you have to incentivize restaurants to participate in Taste of Alpharetta? I don't know. I'm just asking. That's a question.
Well, it's very rare that Taste of Alpharetta is even break even for a restaurant.
Oh.
It's usually a loss.
Oh.
And so what Jacob's Eye has done is they've looked really creatively at that. They've heard from the restaurants that concern. And so they have a tiered approach that they're going to be rolling out this year with the restaurants, where if the restaurants exceed certain thresholds, they have to give back less. So what it does is twofold. It will encourage the restaurants to sell more, and it will, which will help Jacob's Eye make Taste of Alpharetta a profitable endeavor for them. And it will also encourage the restaurants to bring more food, which has always been a challenge, that restaurants run out of food. Some restaurants run out of food.
Oh, is that okay? Because I never come at the end. I always come in the beginning.
Right in the beginning. And so a lot of restaurants run out of food halfway through the event. Well, they can't sell, they can't make money, they can't reach those thresholds if they don't have food. So it's should be a win-win. Because the lowest threshold, they give 50%, like they always have. Once they reach a higher dollar amount in sales, they give back less. And once they reach a really high threshold, they give back none, which would seem like it's not really great for Jacob's Eye, but when they did the math on all of it, what they think is it's going to actually benefit everybody, including, and most importantly, the attendees. So we'll see. Summer activity guide is in final stages of review. We should all have it in hand February 15th, which is tomorrow. And we are working on the next phase of public input for both Rucker Park and Union Hill Park. So we'll be bringing the public input to you at our next workshop meeting. Because the Rucker public input is happening right now online. That survey closes tomorrow, and the Union Hill Park public input will take place next month.
And Amanda, what's different in, because I tried to click on the Survey Monkey and it said you've already taken this. What's different in the survey today than when the guests were live and walking around?
So you're just looking at a different plan. This time you're looking at different renderings, a different concept drawing of what the park could be, which is a bit different than the first version. It took all the feedback from that first round that we did 2 years ago and put that into a new design. And really this survey is just saying, where do you live? How close? Are you within walking distance? And what do you think about this new concept? So you could send that to us in an email too.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Have you gotten a good response?
Yes,
Yeah,
we have.
I did it.
Good, thank you.
You do it? Oh, yeah, because you're working on Lucky Romp.
Just so everybody realizes, this is going to be on the next Recreation Commission workshop. So you'll get before that workshop, you'll get a full report with all the comments that were online as we're moving this through. Just want to make sure everybody knows that's coming up on the next workshop. So if you have comments about it, it'd be a good idea to come to that workshop.
And then the last topic for my division is regarding community agriculture. So we're still recovering from our crop loss last month, but February is a really, really busy month. And so it's surprising to imagine that before this month is over, we will have collard greens, kale, chard, lettuce, lupine, spinach, cabbage, peppers, arugula, eggplant, tomatoes, broccoli, and okra all in the grow room starting for sprouts before the end of February. And then some of that will also be pushed into the greenhouse. Before the end of this month, in the ground, we will have radishes, turnips, beets, and peas. And by March 1st, a lot of that lettuce, spinach, and arugula will be transplanted out into the ground. So my hope is that by the middle of March, we'll be back to regular donations to North Fulton Community Charities. It takes a lot to recover from something as bad as those cold days in December. We also started construction today on our community garden redevelopment in order to address the ants issue that we had on the terrace where the community gardens are. And so for the next 2 weeks, that area will be rebuilt in time for the February 24th seed distribution. We want all of our members to be able to receive their garden plots and their assignments on that Saturday. So we're really looking forward to that. We're looking forward to having no ants in the community garden beds this year. That would be really great. We know we're going to have ants, though, and I was just texting with the man who handles our pest management earlier today about trying some new products. Still our organic products, but trying some new ones that hopefully will do a better job with the ants. And then lastly, wanted to make you all aware that we are discussing the possibility of expanding the successful and wildly popular Grow a Row program over to our Mayfield property. We own that property in partnership with the City of Milton. And so we have just been exploring the idea of expanding that program in partnership with the folks at the City of Milton.
Are you going to have to put a fence up like you had to do at Old Rucker?
Most definitely. We really can't do anything
Without a
without a
fence.
fence. If you need fence, then you need water. You need water.
Okay, so all that's costly, yeah? Okay,
Yes, nothing will happen fast.
yeah,
We're
okay.
just exploring the idea right now.
Yeah, okay.
So the development of this is, it's brand new. You have to start like how you started Recker Farm with the watering. You're going to have the buckets or the well. The whole process is going to start here if it goes forward. Do we own this property? You said jointly owned by us and Milton. Do we own it or do they own it?
We both own it. So it was purchased 50/50, split down the middle. And so part of that exploration about this idea is exploring how decisions would be made and how finances would be handled, how procurement would be handled. So there's a lot of discussion to be had before any ground is broken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got one question for you. Back to the taste. Thought we discussed it last meeting, but wasn't 100% sure. Is the DOT on board with closing down 9?
So the last update that I had regarding that, Public Works had submitted the request to close Highway 9, and we were just waiting to hear back from DOT. But the
Only 3
request
months
has,
away.
I know. But they could only submit that request like 100 days in
Right.
advance.
I
So
understand.
it's a tight,
Okay, so we're still waiting, but optimistic.
optimistic. There were no problems last year. DOT was happy with the closure, happy with the way that we handled it from a public safety, from all perspectives. So, you know.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got a question on the activity guide. How are those distributed? I mean, obviously they're on the website, and I think we got a copy in here, but I gave my copy to a neighbor because they didn't have one. So just curious as to, is that the choice is to send them to the City of Alpharetta website for a guide, or can they pick them up in the activity center, those sort of things?
Yes, all of the above. So we do print about 1,500 hard copies of them. It's very costly to print them. And so what we've moved to is we do like a postcard with a QR code on it. And this year, our designer got really creative with that, has a schedule on the back, but that jumps you to the digital version. We really want to drive people to that digital version. All of our promotion online is click here for the guide. We don't direct anyone to go into the facilities to pick them up.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Cultural Services, who is?
Oh, good.
Yeah, surprise, right? And I really do not have a whole lot to say. Kim submitted a detailed presentation.
Yes.
She did want me to bring a couple things in this presentation. One that the programs for Black History Month have been going on since the beginning of the month and will continue throughout the month. And the other thing she wanted to really bring attention that we're excited about is Act One will be doing their first performance in Alpharetta's Innovation Academy. We've been working really hard to try to form a partnership, and I think that's going to come. Actually be a reality. And I think Morgan may have a couple things to say about that, as well as something else.
Yeah, so if everybody knows that Act One is the Alpharetta's Community Theater, and they use the Presbyterian Church. They use a room over at the Presbyterian Church that they've turned into a community theater. Well, when we had that really cold weather a couple of weeks back, there was a pipe freezing at the Presbyterian Church, and it took out part of their preschool program classrooms, and they've had to completely rebuild those. So they had to kick, I shouldn't use that word, they had to ask Act One to step away from that facility because they had to do the school. And Act One had a play planned, already had it planned and already had the dates out. So Act One, being one of our art leader groups, came to us and said, is there any opportunities or anything like that? And Kim and her group, in the Cultural Services group, just went out and just started beating the bushes. Long story short, we made inroads into Innovation Academy. We've been wanting to get into the auditorium since the day they opened that facility. But the way they're doing that is that they now have a drama teacher. One of the teachers at the Innovation Academy is a drama teacher. So they really wanted that to happen. So Act One and Innovation Academy, we brokered this deal. They are basically doing their play rehearsals in the auditorium, but they're actually doing classes for the students on production, set, how to make sets, and how to produce a show. So it's a educational program as well as a theatrical program. We don't know if this is going to be long-range beneficial for Act One, or if they're going to, what they're going to do. But it was a very good stopgap method that, we're excited about because now we're going to actually be able to, the community's going to be invited into the auditorium. And there'll be 3 weekends of the play. You'll get information on that, and we are really encouraging. We're going to really work with Act One to sell a lot of tickets because we really want to show the Innovation Academy folks that folks want to get in that auditorium and use it. So we're really excited about it. We've got our foot in the door.
That's great.
And there is another, we're also, this is in the early stages of conversation, but we are, me and Kim have been meeting with the folks at North Point Mall about the possibility of space at the North Point Mall being used for a community theater. Everybody knows at North Point Mall there are some vacant properties there. That's not surprise to anybody, including the folks at North Point Mall. But they do know that there's going to be some redevelopment coming at some point in time in the future, and they want to try to keep traffic going. They've already given space to the Alpharetta Arts Guild for gallery space there, and so we're in conversation with them about a possible community theater space there. That would either, if it didn't work out if Act One decided they don't want to use that space, Kim has ideas that we're going to have at least a children's theater there in that space if we're going to work it out. It looks very promising for us. And as we get that information, I'll be coming back to the commission. We're still in, I don't want to say negotiations, we're just still in conversations with the mall. So it's pretty exciting, though, that we might have a community theater here in the next couple of months that would seat anywhere from 200 to 250 people. So it'd be cool.
How does it get paid? Is it a facility use fee, like Innovation gets paid for the facility usage by Act One? Or is it
No,
Innovation just donating that space time?
For this is basically a trade of services. Act One, because of the educational component that they've actually are writing plan, what are they, work plans? Curriculums for the classes that they're going to be doing. So it's really a quid pro quo, if you will, for the services and the usage of that facility for this particular. It's like a demonstration project to see how it works out. So,
Thank you.
I know that the drama group there is going to be selling concessions, and so there looks at all the different ways that both of those groups can make a win out of this.
Thanks.
Any more questions of Morgan?
Kurt, thank you. Recreational Services. Christine.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank
We
you.
are. All right. I have some really fun things. Oh, can we get mine up there?
Technology.
Keep going. There you go. Oh, my goodness. We're going to start off with something really fun here. Miss Meerbaum turned 100 years old last week. And we had a couple celebrations. The Historical Society had a celebration for her, and so did the Adult Activity Center. You can see that the mayor of Johns Creek and our mayor were there as well. Is that correct? That's the mayor of Johns Creek, isn't it? Yes. And they were there celebrating. She had cupcakes and punch at the Adult Activity Center, and she had that beautiful cake from the Historical Society. And I love her glasses. They're fantastic. And the really cool thing is, the same week, another gentleman over in Milton was honored, Mr. Jack Buckner, and he turned 100 years old, and February 3rd was designated as Jack Buckner Day over in Milton. So pretty exciting. 2 people in the same week. 100 years old. That's amazing.
She was actually very chatty.
She is very chatty.
Chatty. She wasn't just kind of looking at everybody like,
No, she
you had things to tell you.
Yeah,
She's a little sassy.
Still got stuff going on there. She's a great little lady there. Okay, and then next page, please. I do have it. I have control. Thank you. Oh, sorry. All right, this little cutie patootie you see in front of you is a little gal from one of our teams. This is Avon Van Gelder, and she scored a 9.9 on the vault at one of her competitions. Bottom line is Alpharetta Gymnastics Academy is just killing it this season. They are winning so many first place categories at their meets. The last one they went to was really exciting because I don't know if any of you know who Caitlin Okashi is. Okay, you have to go onto YouTube and put her name in. Oh, Hashi, I'm sorry. You have to put her name in. Any of you seen Caitlin Ohashi? No? Oh, gosh. You all have to do it. Watch her routine. It is the most fun gymnastics floor routine I've ever seen. It's a college, UCLA. She's on the UCLA team, so you have seen it. Fantastic routine, very fun. You'll get a good, it'll put a smile on your face. But the last competition they had, it was one that she put on. So they got to meet her, and they got to take, that's one of the teams that won, another one that won, and then, okay, oops, sorry. That's another one. This is at her actual event, and then there she is with the girls. So very exciting for them to meet one of their heroes at one of the competitions. I'll let you read the rest of all of that. There's a lot of information with AGA and all their winnings. But the bottom line is they're just doing great this season. So we're going to, at the end of the season, honor them either here or at City Council. We'll get them in here and show them off. We had another fun event last weekend, and that was fun. It was very cold out there that morning.
And cold as
Very cold. You can see me in the bat picture. I'm over there bending over trying to help a young lady who jumped in and sweater went over her head. That was really fun. I almost had to go in the water. But none of us had to go in the water to save anybody. It was a great event. They had a bunch of jumpers. The bunny guy jumps every single year. John Hypes was there. He jumped too. I think those people are very brave. You're not going to get me in that water unless I absolutely have to be in there. But they raised over $118,000 this year, which was fantastic. Got another one here. And this is the Brubel team with the mayor in it. And this is them jumping and Jim Gilvin doing his flying, whatever it is. Every year he does the same dive. And he went in. They all went in. It was great. Great fun.
Oh, we know her.
Sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to go there yet. Just real quick, I know Amanda already mentioned the summer guide. The summer guide will be live online tomorrow, and then the hard copy should be in the facilities next week to your question. We're very excited about the summer guide. It's going to be the best summer ever. Yes, Morgan, best summer ever. Did you say that?
You say it enough. I just wanted to say that being a member of the Rotary Club as well as Dennis, that $118,000 is all distributed back to the people that jumped and raised money for the different organizations trying to. Rotary Club didn't keep any of it.
Right.
All that money goes strictly to those teams.
Those organizations.
Whatever they raised. So,
Yeah, they just, fantastic.
30-something teams this year, I think.
There were a lot.
There was a big crowd.
Yes.
There was a big crowd. There was at least 250 people out there on the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun day, really fun day. And the firemen had their chili cook-off. And
Wait a minute, though, the firemen were there. What's the limit on that pool? What's the capacity?
in the
chili
pool,
cook-off.
in the
I'm
pool.
just thinking.
It was a really fun day. Cold but fun. So just a reminder, summer guide tomorrow online, and then it will be in the facilities the following week. And registration for residents starts March 8th, and for open registration is March 22nd. And I'm very proud of this guide. We've got some great offerings in there. It was Deanna's first round with it, and she just did a fantastic job. And I just was looking through it the other day and just so excited about it. It's going to be a great summer. Best summer ever. I don't know what next summer is going to be the bestest summer ever. I don't know. We're just going to keep going with it.
Then we have to go back to the worst summer and build up from there, you know?
That's right. You look so beautiful. Look at you.
I know, look
You
how
and your
pretty
girls.
it
We had a
is.
family dance on Saturday night, and it was transformed. It was just beautiful into this fairyland. The ACC team did a great job. Our team pulled together and went over and helped decorate and get everything ready to go. And 130 people came and just had a rocking good time. And this is actually this is our dance teacher's daughter. I have known Ava June since she was about this tall. And here she is, this beautiful young girl, and she's playing
Anna. I said it right, Anna, not Elsa, Anna. And the kids just had a great time. I walked in and everybody was laughing and smiling and eating good food and just having a ball. And there's just a few more pictures. Yeah, they had a great time. And that was it for me. Anybody have any questions for Recreation Services?
Just a big thank you. It was an incredible evening, and everyone, all the families were engaged, and just our faces hurt from smiling all night long. It's great.
Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, it's just such a fun event. So I'm so glad you were able to attend with your girls, and you all look gorgeous. It was really fun. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Park Services?
And I gotta put my glasses on because I can't see. Yeah, so basically, over the past month, we installed automatic locks over here at the parking deck, here at the parking deck and North Point and the Greenway, North Point Greenway restrooms. They're set on a timer, and so we're going to be closing them in the evenings and open them early in the morning. The Greenway, those should be installed by the end of the week, but the parking deck has been installed already. So the hours currently right now are 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. here in the parking deck. And
The restrooms in the parking deck are going to close down at 6?
6 p.m. That's currently what we have them at right now, yes. But, I mean, as the season gets longer, of course, we're going to leave them open later. I mean, we have residents in the restrooms at night, so we're trying to control that.
All right.
Like, resident, like
Sleepers.
sleepers, people,
Yeah.
okay.
What time does it close at North Park?
Well, at North Park, at North Park, they're closing at 10 p.m. when the park closes.
So after
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
But, and right now at the Greenway, we have them closed probably, well, they will be set for probably 6 p.m., at dusk.
Okay,
But there's activities at North Park, so we leave them open.
This is just all kind of questions open up with these automatic locks. Somebody's in there, it locks. Can they open it from the?
Yeah, there's an override.
Okay.
Get out.
Green button.
So nobody can be locked in.
Okay.
Now, that said, the door can be propped open and someone can get in also. So, yes.
Doing the best we can.
So it's, just security measures that we're trying to take.
Let me jump in. It is our goal that all of our outdoor restrooms will have automated locks on them by the time we finish the initiative, so that we can control the restrooms based on usage. So we can, it's as simple as, if we wanted the restrooms open an extra hour, Eric, being the electronic wizard
I was
he
going to
is,
say the technology
right,
king
go
that he
into his
is.
phone and he can do it really quick. So, but it is one of our goals to, and this has been a goal we've been working on this for, maybe a year and a half, trying to get those automated locks. So just so that they're not used after hours for reasons that were not intended.
So we're preparing to put mulch all around City Hall, Brook Street Park, Haynes Bridge, Main Street, all the medians, all of the city center tree wells. Of course, the tree wells, a lot of that will be a little delayed because we have, some major repairs being done to the tree wells. They're pouring concrete curbing in, so we'll hold off on a lot of the tree wells for now. Right now, all our parks are preparing for the spring season, replacing bases, netting, goals, batting cages, repairing portable mounds, filling in several areas where the infields hold water. The Greenway crew has been continuing to keep the trails clear, safe for pedestrian use, with minimal trail closures. I do have a little video here.
Which none of us could watch at home, or did anybody figure out how to watch it at home? Okay, that's all right. That's
So
all right,
just-
just something different for us to watch it here.
So just so you get an idea of what they deal with out there, is, as you can see,
Was that sand?
Yeah, it's silt, so when the trail floods. So, they got to scrape all this off, and then they have to, wait for it to dry and then blow everything off. So, even though the trail's open, there are areas where it's still unsafe, because it's going to be slick. And then, then you get another little rain, and then it's slick again. I mean, it is a process to get all this, because it's very fine silt to get this all off the trail and have it clear. So even though we do open it, users still need to use caution.
Yeah. Okay.
It's manual every time, you can't use,
Yeah, well, we use machinery, yeah, but I mean, but there are some areas where you have to, the blades just don't get down low enough, So, I mean, it takes time. It's a process. It takes time. And a lot of man-hours just to get it opened back up. And like I said, even though it does get opened up fairly quickly, the users still have to use caution and use their best judgment when on bikes and things like that, because it is slick in areas.
And I'm going to jump in here, and for the guys at the Greenway, this time of the year is like Groundhog Day. You ever seen the movie? They wake up, it's raining, they have to do it again. 2 days later, it starts raining, they have to do it again. So it's that's, appreciate Eric bringing it forward, because they're one of the forgotten heroes that keep that Greenway open, the 10 miles of Greenway open, just by being steady on it. So can't say the word.
Any other questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Just going to throw it out there. I'll jump in the pool for $118,000. And we'll make that happen. We've got a few projects that we're working on, trying to finish up. Field 4 is just about complete. The turf's down. We've got some punch list items that we're trying to work through before opening day on March 4th. This is not my report, but let's see
That's
what
good,
else.
because I can't read it.
Yeah.
Can I ask about the downtime when the fields are re-turfed? They're all locked off and you can't access them. What, is that for the settling? Like, I don't know the process or the logistics.
So we've had them open for the last few weeks just because the turf is down and it's safe. So they had to go through their testing, and but before then, it is a construction site.
Yep.
Technically. So we don't want people getting on there and causing any damage that's going to delay that project. So right now the fields are open. Like I said, we've got some fence work, just some stuff that we're trying to finish up. I know the mound that was shipped to us was not correct, so we had to send out, get it. It got delivered this afternoon, so that's a good thing that we have a mound for opening day. So let's see, the Recreation Center playground. I know that there were some questions about it last time. We've actually reconfigured that playground to comply with our state buffers and our reforestation grant project that's going on, which is they've started planting trees, doing a lot of erosion control, and that project's set to be complete by March 31st. That was when that grant had to be spent by. So that whole area will be transformed and should look fantastic.
The way you're reconfiguring that, you kept in mind that when we had that big flood, all of the mulch that was in there lifted and floated away. Are they doing something to
This is going to help that.
this is going to help that?
When we came in and put the black buffers,
Yeah, right.
That's helped kind of shield that mulch from those banks.
Okay.
So before that, yes, we would go in and
And it'd all be gone. It
was-
was just ridiculous.
yeah, what's behind Morgan's house. So the Equestrian Center, we've basically been going through wintertime maintenance. We've had the covered arena laser graded. We've had the outdoor arenas graded. Working on a lot of stable repair. There's just a lot of stuff always to maintain before show season. So we're in a good place with that. Show started up a few weeks ago, and we'll go every weekend from here on out. So
Matt, are there shows every weekend that have already been booked?
Yep.
You're booked out for 2023? Yeah.
Ed, I want to go back. I don't know if you're hiding the lead. You say opening day is March 4th?
March 4th.
That's soon. Is that always?
It's just right around the corner.
It is.
Yes, before our next meeting. That's why I was
Yep.
asking that question again. Okay, that's great.
Spring's here, so we're excited for it. Any questions?
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm back.
Hi, Kurt.
So, well, Matt did report on the, did you talk about the maintenance facility? All right, okay. Well, so the one thing that Matt didn't mention is the maintenance facility at Wills Park. It is in the final stretch. It is enclosed. We got windows in. The mezzanine stairs are installed. They're starting painting this week. And also the fire suppression design has been submitted to the fire marshal for approval. So that should progress, and hopefully, by the end of March or mid-March, we should be complete. So hopefully that will continue on this schedule. Matt talked about the Wills Park turf replacement. So let's move on to some bond updates. And just to let you guys know, Morgan and I do tag team on this. So he'll interject, but that is planned. It's not him interrupting me or anything like that. It is a plan. It is planned. So he will interject whenever he feels necessary to add some more information, because he does get some information pretty regularly, and sometimes we're not able to always talk about it. So, Old Rucker Park, the design concept is going to for approval, as Amanda mentioned, and it's also for Union Hill Park. That's going to be progressing as well. Our goal with both Old Rucker Road and Union Hill Park is to have the designs approved by council by April, so our engineers and public works can tell them to move forward on construction documents. So that's what we're hoping by May 1st, they'll be moving forward to the next phase of that. Waters Road Park, 50% construction plans should be submitted to us by the end of February, and then there'll be staff review and so forth. That's going to progress pretty quick as well. If everything goes as expected, they should be breaking ground mid-May. So that all depends on permitting, in the process of permitting. Mid-Broadwell Park, the latest on that is it is going to go out for bid with a revised phased concept next week. And we hope that those initial plans will come back. And this is mainly taking care of the parking lot, preparing the parking lot area, doing the site work for the playground, and some bioretention work and so forth. We hope that comes back positive, because the lower the site work comes back, the more money we have to spend on the playground.
Is this a straight bid coming back in? It's not a design build or anything along those lines? It's a straight bid? Here are the plans.
It is straight bid on this one right here. We have the design approved, so it's a straight bid. We had to, our engineers had to do a little revision to try to kind of, bring the cost to the, for that project down. So we'll know, once it goes out to bid, they're required to stay out for 4 weeks. And then, so hopefully sometime in March, we're going to kind of see where we stand on that. Webbridge Park, artificial turf. I know this might be one that Morgan may interject in. The installation of the turf in the sewer, they definitely have been divided into 2 separate projects. So the first that's going to occur is the sewer, and then we'll be working on procurement of that to try to get design and installation of a sewer line for that restroom. And then once that occurs, and we get into construction, you can kind of see where we stand, then we'll be moving forward on the turf installation on the design build concept. Do you need to?
And the city has basically taken the stance that the sewer project is not part of the turf replacement program. That is it's an infrastructure project that they need to handle. So we'll be be doing it in such a way that we can, in future years, connect both the baseball restrooms that are on septic as well as the maintenance shop on septic. So that's good news for us because, we're already pushing the limit on getting that turf done. So that was good news for us. Bad news is we can't start that design build until after that sewer has been installed because everything that happens in that sewer will affect the project. So we'll just be delayed a little bit on that. But so, it's always, that's the good news and the bad news of that. So we're excited about that.
Is this going to connect down at the other bathrooms?
No, it's going to go, it's going to basically go down the trail back toward the parking lot, if you will, but it's going to be a straight line until it gets to the road, and it'll turn back toward the entrance and go to the entrance of the park.
Oh. Wow.
So it's going to the entrance of the park, not out the back way.
Oh.
That was just determined that was an easier route because we don't go into any neighborhoods or on private property. It's just a straight, basically 3 straight runs to the front of the park.
Those are the only 2 septic areas in the park? Because doesn't the tennis courts have a bathroom too?
There's actually 4 septic tanks in the park. There's the soccer, there's the baseball, the maintenance shop, and then the tennis courts / pickleball courts are as well. But they are of such, they don't get used like the baseball or the soccer ones to the amount. So we're just going to kind of wait and see what happens with that one.
So we're hooking up the baseball for sure, so we can do this.
Right. We're gonna do the soccer, and we're
Oh.
doing it in such a way that in a future year, we can ask for money to hook up the baseball. And then it'll just be a straight run down the sidewalk and hook back up to that soccer. So it'd be too big of a bite for the city to try to do that all at one time.
But I thought the ones that had to be replaced was the baseball one.
No, it's the soccer one.
Okay.
The soccer septic tank has failed.
Oh.
Period. So we have to do something with it.
Okay.
The baseball is it's a couple of years younger than the soccer one, and so we know at some point in time that's going to happen. So the plan is to put it in a capital improvement plan in the next year or two and take care of that. We won't forget about that because we don't want to go through this again.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so the farmhouse historical site, from the retreat, I believe council has asked community development to reach out to the new property owners that have a development adjacent to that site, which has some parking, and I think they've asked them to reach out to find out the possibility of trying to work out an agreement to use that parking lot, and kind of find out where that stands before we move forward on the next step of design. Is that correct, Morgan? Right.
What kind of a business? Isn't it a medical office there?
I'm sorry?
Is it a medical office where the business?
No, I'm not sure what the development is.
So the original plan was for a medical office. In fact, there was some work done on it, then they lost their funding. So now we're going back to the original property owner asking for an easement. They actually have some parking there that we could use if we can get the right permission. Now, Kathy Cook in Community Development is leading the charge on asking for that easement.
And Wills Park, we had the first design concept given us by the design team. We've had some staff comments. We're very pleased with the direction they're going. We'll have one for the Equestrian Center soon. I mistyped. We didn't have the concept meeting on February 8th for the Equestrian Center. That's coming but we did have the original, the first concept meeting, and an update for Wills Park proper. So we're happy and pleased with the way that's going, and we're excited in future months to be able to present, that package to the Rec Commission. Are there any questions?
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director?
There's one thing on my list, there's one thing I do want to mention, though, is that I'm really excited about the bond projects. As you can see, we're finally making some headway on all of the bond projects. I think for the last year, me and Kurt have both felt like we were running in molasses just as hard as we could run, but not making any progress. So it's good that we're finally making some progress and headway on these projects. The one thing that I wanted to mention is that we are going to be bringing to the next council meeting, which is February the 20th, we're going to be asking for a contract to be approved for Mirror Electric, and it's part of your packet for the electrical work at the covered arena at Union Hill Park to get that ready as a special events facility. It's a total of $86,000 of electric work that we've got to do. Right now, all the electricity in that arena is in the far corner behind a chain link fence, and it's inadequate for what we need it for. It was perfect for a hockey arena because you just had to turn it on and turn it off. That was all you had to do. But we need, as a special event facility, we need power throughout the facility and an upgraded wiring and a couple of big butt fans.
Big ass.
Okay, so
Big
yeah,
ass,
does
that's what
everybody
we
get
call
that?
them.
Okay, all right.
On the next page.
Yeah, so I'm just bringing this to the commission's attention. We're going to the council because it's over the amount. Anything over $50,000 has to be approved by council. So we are bringing that for approval. That's part of that process of upgrading the arena. That's the first thing we have to do is update get the electrical started, because next thing we're going to do is paint that facility, but we want on the conduit, well, on the electrical conduit in the facility before we paint everything. So this is just the first process of updating. We have allocated out of the bond money $300,000 for the renovation of that arena, and it looks like we're going to be within budget on the things that we have to do. And just since I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and mention those things that we have to do. Is that we're in the process of renovating the restrooms right now, as well as the concession stand. We've got roof repairs and gutters to replace. We're going to paint the whole thing, do the electrical updates, and then we're going to seal the floor with a non-slip sealer. So that arena, the covered arena, will be really one of the state-of-the-art special events facilities in North Fulton.
What is the capacity of that again? How many people can actually get in that venue?
I don't know the answer to that question. I would say for once we have the electric in there and we want to have a concert, 250, 300 easily, if you wanted to do it as like that would be with tables where they could sit, but if you wanted to do a theatrical performance, up to 500 people probably. But again, we're limited on parking. That's going to be the limit. We're talking with some of the surrounding businesses about sharing parking, but we haven't got anything signed yet.
Is Home Before Dark going to be there again this summer?
Yes, they are. They're going to, last summer they did one concert a month. I think it was 6. They did 6, 5, and they're going to do 6 this year. And they're actually talking to us about adding maybe a couple of more on top of that. But right now we've contracted 6 of those, as well as Christine. Had to look at her to remember what her name was. They have 6 special needs camps being hosted there during the summer, week-long camps called Camp Momentum will be there at Union Hill as well this summer. We're excited about that.
Great.
Certainly.
And the design is still going to be open air?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be open airs. it works well. The acoustics of that, musically, the acoustics are very well. We're going to have to take care, and this is part of the park design, we got to take care of the drainage on the backside where the hill is and make sure that the water's not coming across the concrete, but that's just part of the design. So yeah, it'll still be open air. I'll be glad to kind of answer any other questions that you have about anything else, but that's the end of my report.
Any questions for Morgan?
I have a quick question, and I don't know if it's appropriate for tonight or at workshop, but the council's retreat recently, I think some of the items were in Kurt's report, but anything else that's impacting some of the projects, whether the bond or ongoing projects here with?
Yep. Actually, I was planning on, part of the agenda, I was planning on giving a report from the retreat tonight. And they are, currently the administrative group is still working on the package from that. They're going to do a full work plan for the council for the year as well as the city. And so until we get that in the hands, that's why I wanted to defer it till we get get everything tallied up and bring it forward. It was a very good retreat, a very positive retreat, and it was a good positive retreat. And you'll see that when as soon as I have that report, I'm going to give it to you. So hopefully by the workshop, maybe we can add that to the workshop if we can. If not, then certainly by the March meeting.
Great, thank you.
You have a question? Okay. Any other questions? That's it. Thank you. All right, thank you. Do any of the commissioners have anything they want to discuss?
Yeah, Dennis, I'd like to give the commission a brief update on Wacky World. So as you may know, our beloved Wacky World at Wills Park is due for a new millennium upgrade based on its age, and we have graciously been allocated some funds from the bond referendum to help support that initiative. I'm on a committee of citizens that's helping kind of shepherd that process along. We've been working very closely with Kurt and Morgan and Claire with the city, who they've been working very hard to get the committee additional information that we can use as part of this project, and it has gained a lot of momentum here recently. So we're working with Play by Design, which is the selected vendor who specializes in these community builds, which is what has been earmarked for this project, where the community concepts, kind of designs, and then ultimately works together to build this playground for the city. So we have officially our first big date that I want to kind of get on everyone's radar screen, and that is going to be March 28th. 6 weeks from now, we will be doing our official design day. So that is where the consultants are going to come down. It's going to be at Alpharetta Elementary School. All the kids will be involved in interactive sessions to come up with concepts and ideas that they would want to see in this new playground. That's going to be coupled with some essential elements that the city and the committee has designed we would like to see in this playground. And that evening, we'll bring in community members, community leaders, families, citizens, media, and have a night to, on this same day, unveil this conceptual design that the kids have come up with for this project. So right now, that's what we're working towards, is putting on a extravaganza design day for the city of Alpharetta. I'll be sending out more specific information to the group. Obviously, would love to have everyone's participation there if your schedule so allows. But we're really excited. We've gained a lot of momentum here in the last few weeks with a lot of great help from the city. So just wanted to give you all that brief update that a lot of things are happening with our new Wacky World project, with the ultimate build probably happening in the spring of 2024, which we'll get more information out for you there. But we will be reaching out to virtually everyone in the city of Alpharetta for volunteer opportunities, donation opportunities, as well as subcommittee opportunities. So be ready for those phone calls. That's all I have, Dennis. Any questions?
I'm kind of curious, are we just targeting west of 400, or is this a whole Alpharetta event?
We are open to anyone in Alpharetta that would like to participate.
Okay.
And Jeremy, did you mention there were donation opportunities?
There will be donation opportunities.
We'll make sure you mention.
Yeah, we will be fundraising for probably more than half of the project will be raised through fundraising opportunities that I feel confident we'll achieve, because we want to put a lot of bells and whistles on this new playground, as well as look for special needs inclusivity as a key component of the new project.
Jeremy, so it sounds like then it'll be ready by the summer of 2024, if it
Yes.
starts in spring?
Yep.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do we use the same playground company for all of our parks, or is it that stuff gets all bid out? I mean, is that an opportunity to look at? Would they be willing to take on other projects? And I don't know.
Well, this group kind of specializes in this community build concept, where they kind of handhold you through the process of kind of putting together your committees. Here's what's needed. Here's what you do 6 weeks before. Here's how we procure it. Here's how we site prep, and then here's how we get all the volunteers in for this kind of week's worth of build, and how you break volunteers up through day 1, shift 2, and then every day, and have team leaders and tools donations and materials donations and food donations and childcare, and there's a whole kind of blueprint they kind of help walk you through as part of the build.
This is going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Any other comments from anyone?
Yeah, I do. The concept, at Alpharetta Elementary, I'm assuming those are the kids telling, and then the contractor will be there to listen to that, and then that's when they get the design and kind of build out? Is that, and there'll be a separate meeting with them after that, I'm assuming?
So literally, it starts from first thing in the morning, and we're working with Principal Crawford on how to logistically get all the kids in front of the consultants. So throughout the morning, they're all cycling through, they're giving their ideas and the format that they do. So then they'll have a certain number of hours to literally get behind closed doors, get these drawings made, get it kind of all done, and then by that evening, we bring the community in at 6 o'clock or whatever, and they've got it all laid out, and we've got a big presentation. The third grade chorus will be singing. There's going to be snacks and hors d'oeuvres provided by the PTO, so it's going to be a really cool evening.
And then as far as donations, do you know if the consulting fund will devise like a 401c3, or is this just cash donations? I'm asking from a corporate standpoint.
So the donations will go to the city of Alpharetta, and we've run it through the city's financial department. And although it varies based on each family's individual tax situations, these are more than likely tax deductible donations for these purposes, based on the information that we've confirmed. That's
correct.
Yep.
But Brad had.
But it would be a donation directly to the city of Alpharetta.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, you're thinking more of corporation, is that correct? Correct.
Yeah, but we've confirmed it's tax deductible, although every individual, we can't speak to every individual's certain tax situation, but the city can provide documentation for tax purposes on deductibility. But yeah, we were very concerned about making it easy and beneficial for corporate.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is I've run into some issues where some companies are reluctant to give, to quote, the city of Alpharetta, but they're willing to give to a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there, but.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, and.
It's just a tough scale. I don't know.
Right. But, the committee asks us that question, and we ask our budget folks, and they said under most circumstances, it would be tax deductible, but there are some folks or some corporations that don't want to give to governments, and we will figure out a way to do that, because we have several 501c3s within our organization that they can give it to us, so it's earmarked for that. So key is making sure that the money that's given is earmarked and spent as they want it to be spent. So.
Great question.
Down the line.
Yeah, great question. Anything else?
Sounds like you're potentially earmarked for the fundraising subcommittee of Lucky World.
Any other questions? Last thing, we do have Morgan asked us to send in comments to him, the 3 comments on what we would like to see happen. For us that have not done that, let's please try to get those to him. Maybe we can talk about them in the next workshop. So if we can do that.
I'm not going to make eye contact with very many people when it comes to that, because I don't want anybody to think I'm stepping on their toes. But one thing I wouldn't want to mention, and me and Matt both forgot about it, is that the contract for Arena Number 3 has been signed by the city and is waiting for Joe Watkins and his company to send it back. So Arena 3, once that's done and he has material on the ground, it's a 21-day build. So the Arena Number 3 at the Equestrian Center is in the very near future. So that's very exciting.
But it took a long time to get that material here last time, is that correct? Yes. Okay, and
Hopefully some of the supply chain issues.
Okay. That's right. We're in the court, okay.
Don't count on that.
Yeah, okay. That's great.
You still in that apartment?
He is confirming some of that is materials that have what lead times are.
Okay.
Anything else? Public comment? No? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn. The meeting.
It had been moved by Commissioner Rand and seconded by Commissioner Bowers that we adjourn the meeting at
1 hour. baby.
6:31.
Hey.
I'll now call for
I
a vote.
remember.
All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Oh, right on.
All those opposed? 8, nothing. Thank you.
I didn't know